While the impeachment debate continues, Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell is vowing to put a stop to those efforts if they pass through the House. Here to talk about this is Travis County GOP Communications Director Andy Hogue and Tara Pohlmeyer from Progress, Texas. Thank you both for being here.
Thank you.
Andy, what is your reaction to conservatives saying Joe Biden leveraging U.S. aid dollars to have a Ukrainian prosecutor replaced, reports of this, is no different from what President Trump asked Ukraine's president to do for him in terms of digging up dirt on a political opponent?
Yeah, well, it's different, but it's not at the same time. It's still something that's immoral, unethical. It still could be considered quid pro quo, and the president was right to ask a world leader to look into it. I mean, he made a courtesy call after an election. I believe it was a congratulatory phone call, and he just mentioned the situation that's been going on since the taking over of the Crimean Peninsula. I mean, this is by no means a new situation. This goes back quite a bit, so I don't think it was just something brought up, oh, hey, I got this candidate running against me in the Democratic primary. Can you take care of him? I don't think that's what happened at all, and I think the phone call will reveal that.
Tara, what do you make of McConnell saying House Speaker Nancy Pelosi is, quote, in the clutches of a left-wing mob that finally convinced her to impeach the president? What do you think of that?
It sounds like Mitch McConnell is really just laying down to President Trump and really not kind of having his own opinion on the situation. When it comes to the pattern of corruption around the president and with the president himself from his campaign to now, we've seen time and time again these un-American acts, him asking this foreign government now for aid ahead of the 2020 election and to investigate Joe Biden, one of his potential opponents. And so this is when people have to stand on the side of the Constitution or stand with Trump. We see McConnell standing with Trump, and the same with John Cornyn and Ted Cruz here in Texas.
Andy, President Trump is doubling down on Twitter, accusing the original whistleblower, there's now another one, of being partisan. Is the complaint filed against the president showing prejudice? What are your thoughts?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, this kind of stuff didn't come out way before. It comes out right now in the heat of the 2020 election season. I mean, we're starting to look into this. One theory I have personally is that the Democrats are wanting this impeachment to start now because when you're in an impeachment proceeding, Congress has some pretty sweeping investigatory powers. And so if the Democrats are going to find anything legitimate on Donald Trump, they've got to be able to use those powers to find it. So right now they're staking everything they have on this very shaky premise in order to get some kind of impeachment proceeding going on in order to see if there's anything there. So ultimately I think it'll backfire, and so far it's been a big nothing burger.
Tara, what are your thoughts on impeachment, and what chances do you give it passing both the House and Senate?
We fully support the impeachment inquiry. Again, when Democrats either have to uphold the Constitution, they have no choice but to do that right now. And so that is really what is happening with this inquiry. We know from your previous coverage that a majority of Americans support the impeachment inquiry. And when you look at the people around Trump, including our former Texas Governor Rick Perry, who's now Trump's Secretary of Energy, the ties to Ukraine, the ties to this scandal, the ties to the corruption go deep. And we're looking forward to the impeachment inquiry pulling out these truths. And we fully expect the Senate to uphold the Constitution and to vote in favor of whatever these facts that come out of the inquiry are. And that includes making sure that John Cornyn especially keeps in mind what Texans want him to do and not just what Trump wants him to do.
Okay, we are out of time. But Tara, Andy, thank you both for coming in and sharing your perspectives with us tonight.